Welcome back, guys. It is the Brothers GeekOut podcast. I know Gilman's been hosting for the last month, but I'm back, guys. Kibler is back. I'm gonna actually, you know what? I should have done a pre selfie. I'm gonna put it up on the page. I am back on the podcast.
Welcome back, Kibs.
Yes, how's it going, bro? You all right?
Good, bro. I'm good. I'm all right. How's things with you, bro? You were obviously out because of the baby, man. Tell us, man. How's the last month been? Even though there was a baby, then even last week you had busy work, Comicon and stuff. So tell us, man, what's going on?
It's been busy. It's been busy. Nia joined us, but it's coming up to, I think, just over 3 weeks now. Yeah, amazing. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. But the first 4 weeks is always tough. That's sleep deprivation. That's trying to get used to her routine, different feeds. You know, this girl is adapting to our world. It's weird, you know, like I got into like comic books to understand, like, you know, how they talk about stories and stuff like that. And people just used real life scenarios and put it there. I mean, here's a baby coming into this world that needs to get used to the atmosphere, needs to get used to the food it's taking in, you know, bacteria, what it can do. Breathe in the atmosphere. She was used to breathing inside her mummy's tummy. You know what I mean? It's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
She was born in fluids, so like she's come out and now she has to adapt to the atmosphere, breathe in. You know, the first night you're always, yeah.
I have a theory about this. I mean, someone told me this the other day was that, I mean, I don't know if this is true. Like I haven't researched into it, but a baby, it doesn't know that it's its own human at that baby stage. It feels like it's a connected entity to the mother, like an extension of the mother.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense because they were literally connected. Obviously, it was inside the mother, but then connected through the umbilical cord and whatnot. But also, so that's interesting. Also, someone else said something to me, which again I didn't research on, but I found fascinating, and I found that could be true. Like the first 3 years of your life as a human being are the most you ever learn in your entire life, because you're not just learning as the stuff that you just said, adapting to this world, breathing, the bacteria, all this sort of stuff. You're learning the most complicated thing on this planet, which is the human body.
Exactly.
How do I see? How do I smell? How do I touch? How do I sense? How do I speak? How do I everything? Moving my body, my spine, my fingers, my toes, every single thing, the most complicated organism on this planet, which I believe is the human brain, the neurons in your brain and all that shit that we got. I don't know the scientific, but that's what a human baby is trying to learn from the ages like 1 to 3 and obviously onwards and whatnot. But I found it fascinating. I was like, you know what, you're right. Like, I mean, in my opinion, you're right. Again, I haven't done the research, but I think that's true. Like that you learn the most as you ever would from the ages of 0 to 3, because you learn to walk as well and all that sort of stuff, man. You're literally trying to understand the most complicated thing in this world, which is the human body. Which, again, when I say it's the most complicated thing, it's not like I've done research and I know, but what I'm saying is like, I think that's I really think there's a lot of truth to that. I really do think there's a lot of truth. So it's very, very interesting.
Yeah, no, bro, so much to learn, so much to take on. And you know, it's weird. I didn't think that first time around with having a Lara. But now I took it on more because, you know, it was a difficult pregnancy. It was a difficult birth. A lot happened in those moments, and you kind of realize, you know, the reality of what you're in. And then, you know, you're looking after this little baby and feeding her and making sure she's fine and double checking. Like, the first night, I didn't even sleep, bro. The first night, I didn't even sleep. I was just making sure that she's breathing, she's there. You know, you're watching her chest to see she's inhaling. She's trying to get used to it. My fingers near her nose. I couldn't sleep. Anyway, they gave me one bug chair, like hospital chair. You can't even sleep on anyway, bro. And eventually, when I did knock out, it was like bare awkward, like one of those, like, you know, when you sleep on the bus or the train suddenly because you're so tired. It was like one of those ones, and the nurse came up. I think it was like 6 o'clock just to double check everybody, and I was like, I ain't sleeping. I think what happened was that the following day, I went to mum's house to get a Lara. Yeah, I went to get a Lara so she can see, because the hospital was, because of COVID rules, they're still quite strict. So no family members, only siblings. So I get Alara to meet, and I went and I laid down on Idris's bed, and then good night. I woke up 3 hours later, bro, pile of drool, and I was like, Idris, I'm so sorry. I had to knock out. So tired, bro. I still am, bro. It's the lack of sleep. You know, it plays its part, but I suppose it's how you keep yourself energized, you know, making sure you're trying to eat good and the rest of it. Dehydration, so make sure you're getting loads of water in you. But yeah, second time round, bro, baby number 2 is no joke, bro. It's more than a full-time job. You know, you're working, you're trying to sustain everything in the house, you're trying to keep everything else on the house. And then we're trying to do all the cool shit that we do as well. Even though when I said I'm recruiting people, luckily, we have a secret agent that works with us. So I won't say no names, but thank you so much for jumping on the extra screenings. I know I know Ati and
the
Ati and
secret
Ash
agent
have
doesn't want to be known. I don't even know who the hell the secret agent is.
I'm gonna keep it a secret and let them go and enjoy some of the screenings that we can't go to. Or if it falls on the same day. I think this week we had 3 screenings invites, which was absolutely amazing. Boogieman, The Flash. Yes, I seen The Flash again. And remember, guys, only the unfinished version. I cannot review it till the 6th of June, which I've got a massive review. And then into the Spiderverse. Across the Spiderverse, sorry. Oh my God. Oh my God, like this movie is insane. Utterly insane. I'm telling you, I went into the cinema like already knowing how much I adore the first one. But bro, this is next level. Like a proper tribute to these beloved characters and everybody that's been involved in the creation, the artwork. Bro, it is insane that they could do it. I feel like with animation and being an artist and the creative styles that they've got to use, like the first one was groundbreaking, no matter what. Probably that's in my top 10 of like best ever movies for me. How do you top that? So yeah, that's what happened this week. So I won't give no spoilers on that. Even the review embargo's out for that one. I probably put a review up, but what more can I say that everybody else is not saying?
Well,
Like
don't yeah. I'm trying to avoid it like the plague because it don't come out here till the 22nd of July. But my phone or Google was telling me 1st of July, and I was like, yeah, boy, I'm gonna take Thursday off work. I'm gonna do this, and that. And every day I kept on checking the cinema times. I'm like, how come the poster's not even out in the cinema? What the hell's going on? And then I find out, no, it actually comes out on the 22nd. Hell, so hot. I found it out on the 1st, like on the Thursday. And I was so heartbroken. I had my day set. And then I was like, just gonna have to go gym now. Like I literally in my head told myself, I'm gonna take the day off gym, and all that sort of stuff. And I was gonna go to the cinema, treat myself. And on that day, I found that it comes out on the 22nd. I was just my day was just ruined, man. But I went gym and trained anyway. But I can't wait for that movie, man. To have to wait. Yeah, if you put something up for sure, I'm not gonna watch it, but put a review up or not, maybe a non-spoiler one up.
I think I did. I've already put one up on TikTok and YouTube. There's a little 1 minute clip of me explaining how I felt after the movie. I can't feel like I can add more, bro. Like we've come to a point now where you know what? Everybody has got some amazing content out there, and I've got to meet some really cool people along our journey, and I still am. You know what I mean? Like on the Spider-Man one, I've met a couple of more new people, and they look at our page and they get excited. The same thing with the guys at Sense Lab. Worked Comic-Con last Comic-Con weekend. I haven't done the 3-day Comic-Con. Usually I go in there for the day, quickly say hello to a few people, buy 1 or 2 things, and get the hell out of there, bro. Because it's too busy. Like that. I mean, and I'm gonna be honest, with MCM Comicon, they oversell their tickets. 150,000 people on Saturday, bro. The place was heaving. Like, when so basically I get in there as an exhibit. I get there for 8 o'clock, help set up and everything. And basically, I am. I might as well give them a quick shout out as well while they're on here. So, Sense Labs. Sense Labs is a company that do creative drawing tablets. They do your standard basic, not basic. What am I saying that for? That's so bad to say. Not basic. They do really high end, affordable drawing tablets, and that's for photography and sort of digital sketching and stuff like that. They recently released their 24-inch pen display model, which is an actual monitor screen, 4K resolution, anti-glare screen on there, and which allows you to just be freely, and it feels like paper. You're drawing on paper. Amazing display, and getting to introduce that to the people. It only came out in March, so it's a brand new product, and you know, getting to see all these young artists come up onto the stand and draw, it was amazing, bro. We did a giveaway. I met another artist on there called his name's Jimmy. Me and Jimmy had a good vibe. We bounced off each other really well. We actually thinking of doing some comedy sketches on artists on like different situations and things like that. But it's something that we're talking about. It's in the talk now. But yeah, just did that. But their USP is this device here. If you can see it, sorry, it's all blurred out.
It's blurred out. There you go.
There you go. This is called their quick keys. So this is almost like a remote control with like shortcuts on it. And this is not just using for art and different types of brushes and zoom in, zoom out, you know, rotation. It has 41 keys that you can program on it. So, dude, you could use this on Microsoft spreadsheets and put formulas on it and go through things like that. I'm using it for iTunes sometimes just to flick through tracks, but drawing wise, it's helped out massively. So a big shout out to the guys at Sense Lab, Paul, Ian. Thanks for the opportunity, for giving me the opportunity to share my artwork with the world as well. So that was absolutely amazing. But my point was 150,000 people in the building, bro. 150,000 people. 9 o'clock is when priority tickets come in, bro. I'm talking about the aisles were ram-packed with people. 12 o'clock when the doors open to the sort of the non-priority tickets, bro, this wave of heat and wave of people came in. Bro, I didn't come out the stand, bros. I was so claustrophobic. You can't do that to people. Kids were getting lost, bros. Like, we had somebody come to the stand and like he was crying, he lost his dad. And I was like, of course you're gonna lose your dad, bro, in that madness out there. Anyway, luckily, my superhero Ian from Sense Lab, you know, calmed him down, and we found his dad in the end. So that's the main thing. But massive shout outs to Ian on that one, man. You're my superhero, dude. But yeah, it's too much. It is busy, bro. Like, it's not as fun like it was when we used to do it back in the days. Like, I could do 3 days, meet people, customers, sell, talk, go see other things. Bro, you can't even move in this place. You genuinely can't move in this place. Like, I keep saying I'm not going Comic-Con. I'm not going, but I'll always go on the days where it's less busy. It's not worth it. Bro, even when I went outside, the amount of people that were outside. So you can imagine people paying 35, 40 pound a ticket, yeah? The way they've raised their ticket prices now. I really do feel sorry for them. And listen, they gave me an opportunity to have a creator pass. So I'm not, I say, I don't want to shit on you guys, but there are some things you do wrong. I think it's just, how can I say it, man? Inhumane, some of the things. I think that's just too much people to have in a building that can't capacitate. When you go outside to, you know, the green area, bro, it was rammed there as well. And people were paying tickets to try and get in, and it wasn't worth them going in because I felt claustrophobic. It's not worth it. And then there's all sorts of other dramas kicking off at the moment. But I'll be honest, like, I love Comic-Con. I get to meet all the great artists. I get to do art. I've been lucky enough to do some artwork there so people can see my work. You know, I met a guy from Industrial Light and Magic, bro, who's working on Ahsoka, and I was like, proper geek out moment. You know what I mean? Like, so like things like that is the stuff I love. I met Maria, who's an amazing artist that does work on like Wonder Woman, and she recently did some variant covers for the Flash comic book coming up. Megan Fritzman, who I interviewed a couple of weeks ago for Justice League versus Ruby. Amazing person in real life, you know what I mean? Absolutely awesome, bro. So like, I got to meet a lot of amazing artists again, as usual. That's my main thing why I go to Comic-Con, is to see the artists, ask them questions, you know, what it is they did to get into the industry and stuff like that, which is kind of giving me a bit more. I know I've waited too long, but I'm going to start approaching. I'm going to start doing some projects this year that allows me to expand on my art style and get it out there. And as I said, bro, I don't even want a full-time job there. I'm looking to just have one piece of work done so that these little girls have something to look back on.
Yeah, no, it sounds amazing. I mean, look, business is business. They're going to try and sell as much tickets as possible, right? You know, the more money they make, which means, you know, at least they'll keep expanding and doing it, right? Because we wouldn't want them to go bankrupt and not do it for us, right? So it's amazing.
Well, no, bro, there's other shows now. There's other shows.
Yeah, there is. I mean, but at least there's a lot of networking. One thing I noticed, which is a good thing, definitely a good thing, is I've never heard any situations but there's that many people in one place and then people start fighting. You know what I mean? Like, you know, there's always a thing. Oh, you stepped on my train or you whatever, right? But this is not that type of place. That's why I love the
No, it's not.
everyone,
It's not.
and
It's
it's
not.
not like a drinking vibe. Some people do drink and whatnot, but it's not like a bar or club or concert where people drink and then get smashed and then they want to fight each other.
Saying that, okay, only after the after parties that involves people getting bust up,
Oh,
and
is
fights
there after
breaking out.
parties?
Yeah, there's
Okay.
after parties and stuff like that. I've heard some talks of some fights breaking out
Oh,
after,
I see.
but
Okay, then
during the time,
what
bro,
I said
it's
was
calm. Yeah, no, but during the actual Comic-Con time, it's fine. It's only after one too many drinks or shots of some sort of drugs will get you to the limit where it's all toxic, bro. Regardless, the fandom is toxic, and something will come up, regardless if it was. I don't know what the fights were about, to be honest. So I don't want to make up some random shit. So
yeah, but I
shit
mean, yeah,
happens,
I
bro.
mean, it would
Shit
be,
happens.
you know what, it'd be joke because you want to assume it's like someone was like, I like Star Trek, I like Star Wars, and then they start fucking
No, you know
fighting and
what? It
shit.
probably wasn't even that, bro. Because
Well, that's
that.
what I'm saying. I hope not, because that'd be hilarious, bro. That's a fucking comedy movie right there. Like, I hope it's something, nothing's legit, but I hope it's just legit. Like, man, like, fucking, I don't know, bro, man. Just
Man,
like,
you just stuck your lightsaber up my ass, man. What you doing? You know what I mean? Can you imagine that? Like, yeah, no, it could be anything, bro. Listen, it could be anything. But yeah, what film was that again?
I
Fanboy,
remember
fanboy.
Fanboy. That's it. Do you know
Yeah,
what? I downloaded that the other day, but it didn't lip sync, so I just stopped watching it. But
yeah, bro,
that's what
wicked
came to
film.
mind. Yeah. But no, I mean it's good that you had fun with Comic Con, and you know you had all the screenings still like last week. I know there was a few that happened when Baby just arrived, so you couldn't make those. But it's great that you had the screenings last week, which was awesome. So at least they're still happening. They're still popping. There's so many, I'm sure, happening this month because a lot of those blockbuster movies are coming out this month. Transformers.
Yeah, it's
You
been
got
full on, bro.
Indiana
I mean, I don't know.
Jones.
Did I miss? What did I miss during the week? During the time she was born?
Well, movie wise,
Anyway, I can't remember. I know there was a couple of screenings
Fast
that
and
I couldn't
Furious,
make.
Fast
Oh yeah,
10,
Fast and Furious, yeah, which I haven't seen yet. I missed Super Mario as well. I didn't see
Super
that.
Mario. Yeah.
I can't remember, but anyway, this month it's busy, bro. It's busy. There's loads more. There's loads more, and I can say officially, yes, me and Ash are at Transformers this Tuesday. Rise of the Beast, which has got a great soundtrack. It's great to hear these Marvel, not Marvel. Sorry, I'm talking about shit. Getting mixed up. The Transformers mixing up with good hip hop artists, Bone Thugs, Notorious B.I.G., Nas. Like good soundtrack, bro. The soundtrack to Spider-Man is insane.
I can only imagine.
But yeah, but listen, yeah, we got so much coming up, guys. Again, we got Secret Agent going to some of them as well. I won't be able to do all of them. I have to be so specific. I mean,
The brother's secret agent, boy. I don't even know who he is. That's how jokes is. I don't even know who the secret agent is. That's funny.
I'll tell you after. I'll tell you after.
Okay,
But no, a massive thank you.
offline.
They went to watch Boogieman for us, which is Stephen King's
Any
remake.
almost slipped. Yeah, go on.
Almost slipped, and got us some
What is
footage and gave us
Boogeyman?
a great review. It was like a horror film, bro. It's a horror film. It's a
Okay.
horror film. It's a remake again of another remake, but it's a Stephen King story. So that was this week as well. The Flash, bro, insane.
Watch it.
Absolutely, that was
wait
so
to watch
good.
it.
But no, man, it's a tough one. Those are the two most anticipated movies to come out this year. Was going to be Guardians, The Flash, and Spider-Man into the Across the Spider-Verse.
Comic book wise, yeah.
Comic book wise, yeah. And like there's like my favorite film this year so far, it has to be Air. I really enjoyed Air. There's something
Air
about
was
that
awesome.
movie. Air was like really good. That's become my favorite film this year. But
I was saying like anything that Ben Affleck and Matt Damon and them guys like are involved in or touch, they're just always good. You know what I'm trying to say? Like Ben Affleck is like whether they write it or not, there's always something about those movies where you're like, I'm in. They captivate you straight away with their
yeah.
style of acting, with the storytelling. I want to say the storytelling because that happens throughout the movie, but just the you know, be it like I don't know their style of acting or whatever it is, man. The screenplay in the beginning just grabs you in. Whatever they touch, you know. I watched a movie a couple of weeks ago on Amazon called fuck, I've gone blank. But it was about a writer, a story about a writer, and Ben Affleck was in it. And again, you're just entertained about how he acts and how he talks and all this sort of stuff.
He's
And then
bro, they got a good vibe, bro. They got a good
yeah, I
vibe.
love
You know
those
when
movies,
friends
man.
work together, they have a good vibe.
Definitely. Great movie. I enjoyed that one too.
All right, cool. Let's do this, bro. Well, so that's all that's happening. I'm happy to be back. It's been ages. I have
Yeah.
missed it. Don't get me wrong. I feel like you guys, if you're watching the Brothers Geek Out podcast page, we've always got content to push out, and we're pushing more content out. And we're getting some great feedback from people, which is absolutely
Amazing.
amazing. The fact that people are
Amazing.
listening to it, even if it's 5 of you guys, I couldn't thank you guys more than enough. And then we got some new stuff coming out soon, bro. We got the rebranding of the Brothers Geek Out. You saw those pictures I sent you, right?
Yeah.
So we're waiting for last few changes. We're going to see how the text looks, and then, bro, I'm talking about hoodies, t-shirts, the hats. I'm just gonna pay for it and get it embroidered, bro. They need to look moist because when people see the hats that we got now, they always want one. But I'm like, you could take my one because the branded one I'm gonna get next is gonna be sick. So
Yeah. Well,
they look good.
that's awesome. And even in the last month, which was May, we had an influx of subscribers. Our monthly goal is 25 to reach our yearly goal of doubling subscribers. We ended up hitting 35 last month. You know what I mean? And I was like, that's awesome. Of course, we had a couple of screenings, but considering the month that Neil was born, you was away, but we were still trying to push on the back end, and we got an influx of subscribers, which was awesome. Ash got involved with the podcast. K West helped
Yeah,
out
no,
with the
shout out to them
podcast,
lot as well. Shout
and
out to
then
them lot.
and then Ash done some video game stuff. Even myself, man, I'm not saying I'm getting back into video games, but Tekken has got me moist. Metal Gear Solid 3 got me moist. I just pre-ordered Street Fighter 6. I'm like, it's Street Fighter, man. Let me have to do it. So I just pre-ordered Street Fighter 6. But also I wanted to mention so yesterday I was vexed, right? Yesterday I was vexed. You made me laugh though, because you have to lighten up the situation when you were laughing on
I'm tired, bro.
So basically, I had the Spider-Man little figure that Iron Studios 1/10 scale Spider-Man No Way Home or Far From Home's figure. Anyway, I pull up online. I don't have the space. I got these big ones now that I'm just making space for. Ashley's got a Punisher ready for me. Anyway, so I'm selling these, right? Nobody has been interested in this product for 6 months. I've had it online for, right? Nobody, not even a like or nothing, right? Then 3 weeks ago, the goddamn poster fell down, right? Smashed that Spider-Man into bits, legs, arms, everything smashed. And I was like, for fuck's sakes. So I forgot, I super glued it back together. Everything looked perfect, except there was one leg, there was a little chip on it, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't notice it. I glued it back on, it looked all right. And I forgot to take it off Facebook. I was like, fuck it, I gotta keep it now. I smashed it up, gotta keep it. So now all of a sudden, my guy messages me out of the blue. No one's ever interested. My guy's messaging, brother, can I come on Saturday and pick it up for this much? Can we negotiate? And I was like, oh shit, yeah, hell yeah, take it, bro. And then, so I glued it back perfect. I thought it was perfect. And we negotiated price, ended up, a price that I was happy with. I was like, perfect, all right, bro, let's do it. So I'm putting it back in the box, and I noticed that the chip, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta let the brother know, man. I gotta let him know that, So I let him know about that, right? And then we negotiate. I'm like, all right, I'll knock off another 10 quid. That's all right, cool. But I started putting it in the box, right? And I closed the box. I hear crack. And I'm like, what the fuck? But the other leg broke off completely. I was like, son of a bitch. I was getting so upset. I was just about to message him and say, bro, fuck this product. You don't want it, right? But I managed to, again, fix it. Glue it back, and it was perfect. It was perfect. The way Iron Studios make it, they do make it in one, like it is bits that you put on, but they kind of mold it into one, right? But I glued it back, it was perfect, all that sort of stuff. So I was like, fuck it, all right, cool. I won't tell him about it. It should be fine because it looks perfect. My guy comes, I'm very honest with him. I show him the chip, and he looks at it. We negotiate the price after the chip. He's like, cool. Then he starts moving the leg, and that motherfucking leg's moving. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, oh shit. And then he goes, are these parts supposed to come off? I'm like, no, bro, I think I fucked up. Because I told him basically I took it out of the box and I actually chipped it. So I was like, I didn't realize the leg was moving. I messed up, bro. And then we negotiated another, but I had to drop off another 10 quid. And the way he was moving the leg, I was like, son of a bitch, that motherfucking leg moving and shit. And then we negotiated more, and I ended up selling it for half of what we originally negotiated. But I was like, what's the chances of that? Nobody's interested in 6 months of this, and then 3 weeks before someone takes it, it smashes into pieces.
It is what it is, bro. I mean, you
I'm
had it
kinda
for
glad-
5 years, so I think it's a good value to let go at. And with considering the backstory of it losing, just it's like some of those things. Sometimes it's like just let it go, man. But anyway,
man. It just
I know
bugged me.
it's in the moment. It's always hard. In the moment, it's always
But
hard.
then he took my Thanos as well, my Iron Studios 1/10 Infinity War Thanos, which I wanted to get rid of too as well. He took a look at that. It was funny, bro, because I mentioned it to him, and then he goes, look, next time, let me just sort of. I was like, cool, just take a look at it, just so you can see it for now, innit? But he took a look at it, he fell in love with it, he immediately went back to his car. I see him negotiate with his wife. I'm standing at the doorway waiting for him to take the Spider-Man. 10 minutes later, I see him back and forth with his wife. His wife's probably cussing him. He comes back, like, brother, can you just give it to me for this price, the Thanos? I'm like, that was the negotiation. I'm like, guy, just take it, bro. So he took the Thanos, which I'm happy about. I'm glad I got rid of it. I got like 1 or 2 more that I want to sell. And then, you know, like I said, I'm just going to stick to what I want, which is the Punisher ones. Ashraf's got my Sideshow 1/5 scale Punisher, which I'm looking forward to bringing back. And there's some future ones in thing. But that was my story of selling some products this week, man. It's been hilarious. I sold my PS5. I don't know if I mentioned on the podcast. It's hilarious. One Arab dude came. Now I didn't know my PS4. Sorry, I didn't know it takes 2 hours to do a system restore. Like this thing's got all my data on it and all that stuff, right? Because of you sign up to PS Plus and all that shit, right? So he's on the way. I started a restore and it says 2 hours, and I'm like, brother, don't come now, please. Like it's gonna take 2 hours. He goes, brother, I'm already here. And I was like, oh man, we're just coming for a cup of tea. He goes, brother, that's very nice of you, but I gotta go back to work. So he comes all the way. We're talking about 30 miles minimum, bro. And then I felt so bad. But this brother was cool as fuck. So I'm so happy. He's probably a rich Arab dude. He just said, but I just want it for my nephew in Turkey. No problem, man. So he came to the house. He saw that it was taking 2 hours. I said, listen, I'll come drop it off for you after. He just gave me the money. He gave me the money and he walked out. He goes, no problem, but just come give it to me later. Like nothing. And he wasn't even like reassuring or nothing like that. He was just like, yeah, just whenever. And then I dropped it at him after, and I was just like, oh no, man. It's been interesting selling some of these products, man. Just some funny stories and funny situations and stuff.
Oh no, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good.
But yeah, anyway, man, like we got news to talk about.
Let's do it, bro.
For this Geek Out podcast.
Let's do
it. You know what? We'll talk about Spiderverse at the end. You already brought it up, but we'll talk about it at the end. All right, couple things on the list. All right. Netflix has hired Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger himself as the Chief Action Officer.
What?
And saying that, I just finished watching Fuber, which is a Netflix show that came out. First of all, him being a Chief Action Officer makes all the sense in the world, right? Because he's an action legend. The 80s action, you gotta give it to them. They started off a genre of one-man killing spree action movies. I know John Wick's a new era and all that sort of stuff, which is great.
But he's one of the originals, bro. He is the original, bro. He actually, you know what? But he the legend, bro. How can they not have him? Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, look, of course you had the cowboy movies and you had all these other movies. You had the Hong Kong movies with John Woo, Chow Fat and whatnot. But, you know, I guess you could say from the Western Hollywood side of things, you know, Arnie, Stallone, but, you know, they started off that genre of movies. And, you know, it's evolved, you know what I mean? You can't take away things from Rambo, Predator, Commando, all those type of action movies.
All of them, yeah.
So yeah, he's a Chief Action Officer. I don't know what the hell, I've never heard of that role in my life. I wonder what the hell that he's going to be doing, but you know, can't go wrong with him. But then we watched Fuber. We just finished off Fuber, which is a great, very fun spy action comedy show that Arnie's brought out. You could almost say it's like a True Lies 2 or 2.0 or 1.5.
Yeah.
Similar, almost. Like it's got more comedy, way more comedy. Because remember, True Lies had this light side to it. Remember, he was always saying sorry to people and whatnot. True Lies, if you remember, there's a light side to it. This is a bit more lighter. There was a lot more comedy and all that sort of stuff involved. But yeah, it was great to just see Arnie back in his element of action. It wasn't like old school action with minigun or whatnot, but it was just him being a CIA agent or whatnot, just like True Lies, like I say, and his family dynamics and all that sort of stuff, team dynamics and spy and terrorist and all this sort of stuff. But very, very fun show, man. Very, very fun show. Great character building. You, by the end of the show, you're like, that character's an idiot and this person's a fool, and you know, and they come to realization and all this sort of stuff. Great fun show, man. And it's Arnie as well. Like, how could I not watch it? I'm such a fan. I'm gonna be like, of course I'm gonna watch Arnie's first TV show. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I believe it's his first TV show. Of course I'm gonna watch
it. It is his first TV show, bro. Like, it's weird to say it. Yeah, I mean, first TV streaming service show, and I've got up to episode 4, and I'm loving every bit of it. It reminds me of Dad so much, bro. The shirt, the clothes he wears, the beard, the hair, and he has these angles. Nobody else can see it though. It's only me, you, and Ash who see it. But I see Dad, bro.
So do I, yeah.
But there are some funny scenes in there, bro, that Arnold plays on what he does best really well. And he's actually a good comedian, bro. He has got a good, like, comedic timing from when it's planned the way it is for him, because he takes a piss out of himself, which is great. When somebody can accept themselves for who they are, they can accept the jokes, like, you know, put the cookie down and all of that business, get to the chopper. Like, he plays on that so well. There's a guy who's really comfortable with himself, and he takes a piss out of himself. But there's one scene in there, bro, I couldn't stop laughing. Everybody in the house was like, what are you laughing for? And it was the part with the your dad's coming here and you didn't want to clean up, and then he picked up the lipstick. He goes, it's vibrating, and he's like, bro, I was dying. I don't know why he did all those sound effects and screaming and shouting. I was in tears, bro. Listen, I'm happy to see these guys still doing it. I mean, Stallone still smashing it. He's got this new show with his family as well. He's got Toulouse King, which I haven't seen yet, which I need to jump on, definitely. I heard he's going to get a season 2.
Yes, I hope so.
Yeah, so definitely I need to jump on.
That's almost 4 coming out.
Yeah, so as soon as I finish this Fuber, I'm going to jump on Stallone. I'm just going to watch it. The thing is now with the 2 kids, I can't watch TV. It's hard enough. So I'm watching everything on my phone. The only thing that I'm getting good cinema experience is getting to go to the screening. So TV days are over for me. So now I've had to compensate on timing and getting myself some me time as well. I have to watch shows on my phone and my iPad now, which is so weird because I can't just sit there and watch something. I have to be multitasking now. If I'm not making milk, dishes, doing the cooking, the food and stuff. And, you know, recently we signed up to HelloFresh. I just never thought it would be reasonable to get, but like I'm going sidetracking now, but I think parents should jump on this. It's value for money as well, because I'm prepping food that I don't have to cook during the week or go shopping for. It's already sent to me and done. So 30 just minutes, 40 minutes. No, the ones that I've got is I have to cook it for.
Oh, I see. Okay,
it'll take me 20 to 30 minutes depending on what it is. But the food is lovely, bro. Like, you know,
they just send you the ingredients. Yeah.
So Monday to Friday we stick to veggie dishes. It's all veggie dishes.
That's good.
Then, you know, Saturday, Sunday we're doing, you know, depending on where we're going, if we're at mum's or the other family. So yeah, no, definitely that's been good. But listen, bro, Fuber, awesome. Can't wait to finish it. I've got 2 clients' pieces of work to finish off. I'm gonna have that playing. I'll watch it. There are gonna be scenes that are gonna make me jump because it's jokes. It's jokes. It's really good. I'm happy with it. It's a good show, bro.
Awesome. Well, I apologize if you can hear that noise. It's the vacuum cleaner. We got a new vacuum yesterday. We were excited to get it, so I apologize for that. Funny story on that as well. Like, so I'm very diligent. One of the advantages of Dubai is there's 2. One, I get to see family and friends a lot more. A lot of people came. I saw Ahmed on Wednesday, which was awesome to have him in town. Went for dinner. But the other thing is I'm trying to take advantage of the money, right? It's a great place to make money, right? Save money and stuff. But also, you know, people are trying to hustle and make money off YouTube. So you're gonna be careful. However, I'm really like, as long as I'm here, I'm gonna really just be very diligent with my money. And then what happened was we just bought curtains for downstairs, right? Because the house over here has left their lights on. I don't know what happened, but they left their lights on. They had some viewers and stuff. And then I realized how exposed they are during the night. You literally could see through the whole house, right? So I was like, oh shit, we need to get curtains downstairs, because when we're watching TV in the evening or eating dinner, people can see. And if tenants do move in, we're gonna need that privacy. So we just spent money on curtains. So in my head, I'm budgeting, blah, blah, blah. Then the vacuums, what we had were basic. But the vacuums that we had were spitting out more dirt than it was actually cleaning up. So the missus is like, we need a new vacuum. And I'm like, no, we can force it till after we come back from London. And she's like, look, man, it's literally pumping out more dirt. And she's showing me, and I'm looking at the dirt coming out of the vacuum. And in my mind, at the same time, the calculations are happening. And I'm like, no, we can force it. And she's like, you're a fool, man, you hoover the house then. And I was like, yeah, we need a new fucking vacuum. So anyway, we done our research. We just compared Shark and Dyson, and we ended up getting a Shark. Yeah, so it worked out. And then, so kind of excited vacuum in the house. But that was a little story I went to do, because it was just hilarious at the fact that I was literally looking at the old vacuum pumping out more dirt, and my brain's trying to calculate budget and be like, no, man, force it. But yeah,
always away, bro. Always away. Let's jump in the news, bro.
I finished watching Fuber. I recommend carrying it on. It's very awesome. All right, moving on. You haven't seen Fast X, so this is a spoiler, man. Should I say it or not? Do you care?
I think I know it. So we've got returning characters, right? So Gal Gadot and The Rock are back, and The Rock. Okay, it's a bit of a mad one. So I'm kind of gutted that it's spoiled, but it's gonna happen, bro. I didn't get the chance. I won't get the chance. This is going to be the first movie that I'm going to watch on VHS.
Yeah. My guy is going to wait till it comes out on VHS and try and pull out dad's video player, because he's still got one at home, and wait for VHS. Cool, bro. You wait for that, bro.
10 years. But that was the timing, isn't it? But yeah, go on, continue, bro.
Yeah, okay, Chris. As you know, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. Like I said, when me and Ash spoke about it, none of them want wow factor moments. Like when like Avengers Endgame comes out and a new character comes in, like Captain Marvel, you're like, oh my God, this is amazing, or whatever it is. This movie did not have that. Not for me anyway. So
go on, tell me, like, you're going to have to tell me now, because I've seen it online that he's come back. They've come back. So I know The Rock is a whole different situation. Gal Gadot died, bro.
So the way she came back, bro, I'm spoiling it, guys. I'm spoiling
Go on. Spoil it.
I'm spoiling it for you as well, bro.
Spoil it.
Rodriguez's character and Charlie Theron's, whatever, I can't say them. They're trapped in this prison or whatever. They end up escaping. It's in bloody Antarctica, so it's fucking cold, right? And then they're walking through Antarctica or whatever, and then this big ass submarine comes out of nowhere, and Gal Gadot comes out of it. And I'm like, this is so stupid. Listen, the movie's cool, it's fun to watch, so go watch it on VHS, as Kibler will be doing. But it is so stupid. I'm like, first of all, where the fuck did you get a big ass submarine, like military style, Navy style submarine? Second of all, where the fuck did you come from? You died. Okay, cool. That's one thing. I was like, well, that's not wow anyway, but it just made me laugh. And then The Rock, yeah, it just came out. There was another scene, another end credit scene or whatever. He was in, I think it was a church or something like that. He comes back. Again, for me, it wasn't a wow factor, but it was like, cool, you're back. You didn't die or nothing. So I wasn't excited, but I also wasn't like, this is stupid. But yeah, he's back. Saying that, he's got a new Hobbs movie. Apparently, they're going to work on a solo Hobbs movie, like not just even with everyone. So, I had a theory, and then me and K West were talking about. K West had a theory, which I thought was quite interesting. Is, look, because obviously we knew he wasn't going to come back, right? He didn't want to come back in the franchise. He had a little problem with Vin Diesel, blah 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 blah. And I think he was banking on Black Adam. Black Adam doing well, the DC universe and all that sort of stuff. And I think he was banking on that and how that will progress. And obviously Black Adam didn't do as well as he hoped. The DC universe completely changed, went in a complete, very different direction, and Black Adam's no more, right? And I feel like maybe that's what changed his mind. He was like, well, I got Black Adam. I don't need this bullshit Fast and Furious franchise. And then maybe that didn't work out. And he was like, you know what? Maybe I got to suck it up and go back to Fast and Furious. Maybe, I don't know. But that's what it feels like. It's a little theory, but it's interesting. But listen, Fast 10, with everyone coming back, I know, like, not to be bad and not to compare, it feels like they're trying to do like an Avengers Endgame type thing. It didn't feel like that at all. Vin Diesel, I know they've been getting cussed a little bit. And again, watch the movies, man. They're freaking fun as hell. They're just stupid, in my opinion. My opinion, right? It's a guy who loves comic books and shit. Just my opinion. What was I gonna say? Like, what Michelle Rodriguez was saying that she was trying to cuss Marvel movies, saying there's just too many of them. I'm like, it's hilarious that you say that, considering there's so many Fast and Furious movies, which always define the laws of physics and gravity and people coming back from the dead and whatnot. So you're a comic book movie in itself. Secondly, Vin Diesel was saying stuff like, there's still opportunity for us to go back in time and all this sort of stuff in number 11 and 12. I don't know. I don't know if
Back
he
in
said it or
time.
the storyteller said it. I don't know. Some shit like that.
Back in time, bro, they are going in
Bro,
on a
it's
different level.
Then I think he's been getting cussed a little bit as well because he tried to say that Fast 10 had the ending was one of those what do you call it, man? You know those
Cliffhangers.
cliffhanger. Sorry, that's the word I'm looking for. But it was the shittest cliffhanger I've ever seen in my life. It was bad. It was just like a normal scene. I'm like, that's not a cliffhanger. In my opinion, again, remember, guys, my opinion, because I know, again, spoiler alert, Kibs, you'll see it on VHS in 10 years. There's a plane that gets shot down, which had Ludacris and Tyrese and all them guys on it. I know for a fact they're not dead. Gal Gadot came back. These fools are not dead. That's facts. Vin Diesel.
Oh, what do you mean? They died on the plane? It looked like the plane exploded?
It looked like the plane. The plane got shot down and it crashed. Yes, whatever. They're not dead for facts. Vin Diesel is in this dam, and then Jason Momoa's character blows it up, and he's there with his kid, and he looks at it and looks very surprised. And cliffhanger, the end. I'm like, that's shit. I'm so sorry. It's so bad. But I do want to know how they escape, because it's the Fast and Furious universe.
It's Fast and Furious, yeah. You got to know. You got to know.
Yeah, they will escape, and it will be fun and whatnot. So all I'm saying, yes, it's cringy and shit, but I enjoy the movies. I enjoy them. But saying all of that, anyway, Hobbs is back. He's back, and apparently he's gonna have his own solo movies. They'll probably make solo movies off that. Hey man, if it makes money, which I believe it did, then
it did, bro. It's gonna be fine. It's what? Listen, it's a business. People love those movies. I love those movies. As silly as they are, it's like a go-to watch. I don't have to put too much brain power into it. I'm not watching Inception. You know what I mean? I'm watching a film which I can sit down and enjoy. Good guys, bad guys, explosions. I mean, what more can I ask for, bro? It's going to be a good action film. They do some outlandish stuff, I heard. So I'm looking forward to watching it. I will go. I don't know when I'm going to see it, but I will eventually see it. But I'll probably do a VCD. VCD is a bit more quicker.
Oh, VCD games, man. Old school days. Well, listen, man. Yeah, it's enjoyable. Do check it out. And they're gonna make way more. I believe.
Cool, man. So. Let's go. Let's do this.
Cool. All right. Well, let's get into the Marvel Universe, bro. So this is the best news I've ever heard, ever, for me, right? And as you can hear, as you know, I'm the biggest Punisher fan, and they've announced that they're going to make the Punisher show after Daredevil show with John Bevnell. That's the best news I've heard. For me, that's the best ever. I cannot wait to have the Punisher back in Daredevil Born Again, and I cannot wait to have him in his own show, and I cannot wait to see him in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't know what they're going to do, or what characters they're going to get involved. I really hope they do something with Spider-Man, just because that's how he was introduced in the comic books. But whatever they do, man, it's going to be amazing. I know it's going to be amazing. I know it might not be as violent because it's Disney Plus, this is the MCU. However, as long as he's the same character, it's fine. As long as it's John Bevnell's character, it's the character that's gone through the whole, issues and expressed his character building in regards to PTSD, losing his family, blah, blah, blah. It's cool. I don't need to see him poke his thumbs into a guy's skull in the MCU. Okay, we don't need to see that. I'm glad I did see it on Netflix, right? That's in another universe. Yeah. We don't need to see it again all the time. I don't need to see a prison scene where he just kills everyone, which is awesome to see. I want to see, I'm not saying if I don't get it, if I don't get it, I'm cool. But if I do get it, of course, I'm going to be geeking out. But I'm just so happy that we're getting a Punisher show. He's my guy, man. He's always going to be my guy. And I just can't wait that he's going to be in the MCU. That's what makes it even more exciting, because the collaboration with whatever characters that you could think of, it's just going to be absolutely awesome. And now knowing Spider-Man's going to be a bit more on the street level stuff, you just never know, man. Daredevil, Spider-Man, Deadpool. Oh, my God. It's exciting times, super exciting times.
Exactly.
People keep saying that the MCU is losing and whatnot. Yeah, okay, maybe they made a couple basic films and shows or whatnot. End of the day, still got the millions and the billions. And end of the day,
I don't think it's basic. I think people need to start knowing that you try and make a movie, man. You put something together. I think all the stuff they've got out is fine. Quantum Mania it's got this stigma where people keep abusing it. I think it's a good film. It's a good fun watch. I think Kang is awesome. I think Ant-Man is a brilliant character. They really got me invested in a character where I'm rooting for the small guys. You know what I mean? So I don't know what people are expecting anymore, and everybody seems to be experts. And I'm not gonna lie, like I feel like I've dialed down on putting out my thoughts a bit more about movies and stuff like that, because I really want people to enjoy the movie magic. Why do I go to watch a film? Is to escape the reality that I am already in, which is all over the place. Don't get me wrong, I love my family life and the things I get to do. But I go to the cinema to have that escape for 2 hours, you know what I mean? And enjoy a different world for a little bit and laugh with people and react with people. Like when I watched The Flash recently, I've seen it already 8 weeks ago, almost 2 months before the film's come out. And when I saw it the other day with the audience, like to hear the audience's reaction, that's another cool thing, you know what I mean? Because it's not just nostalgia or anything like that, you know, it's good old fun, bro. So, and imagination working at its best. So people need to stop being critics. We're not all, you know, critics and the rest of it. Hello.
I mean, I feel like you can allow it, yeah? Allow it.
Guyver. Okay. We're live. We're not live. Oh, no,
we're not live. You're gonna have to cut her face out.
Edit. Come on. All right, go on. Continue, bro.
All right.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, like, everyone could be, like I say, you cannot like it. It's okay not to like it, but just to kind of demolish it and demolish the MCU about it. It's just that's the part that don't make sense. Like to be like, oh, the MCU's done now, or this sort of stuff is that part don't make sense. You can easily just say, I didn't enjoy that one. It's not my favorite. It's not great. I didn't think it was but just to completely demolish it is a funny
Come back
reaction.
later, and then you get to speak to Sasa. So, come on.
We'll speak later, Sus.
Come back later and you speak to Sasa. I promise. Come on. Chill.
We'll finish our work, Sasa, and then you can come.
We're doing some work. Come on. Come on. We're doing some work, and then I promise. Oh, your face showed. That means I have to edit it. You know,
it was all right. It was too quick to see anything.
Really?
So that's my thoughts. That's my thought. Of course, you can hate something or not like something. So, but to kind of demolish the whole thing and just say the whole thing. That's it. It's over. We're done now. It's never gonna work again. It's just that don't make no sense. Like, cool, move on. See what the next one is. See what the connection is to this one, which was Kang. All right, cool. Like introduce you Kang and all that sort of stuff. Like I said, I didn't like She-Hulk at all, but I liked, you know, like Daredevil that was in it. And, you know, maybe she'll show up again. She will show up again in Secret Wars or whatever it is. It'll be fun to have her in there. You know what I'm trying to say? So, and her dynamics with other characters and whatever. Her and Hulk maybe do some tag teaming, Hulk smash stuff on whatever. So it's gonna be interesting. The MCU, DCU, whatever, there's so much more to be excited about. You know, but the Punisher for me is my go-to character. I've got the last issue, or I'm gonna go pick up from the comic book shop of the new series, the comic book run of the Punisher, where he gets possessed by the Beast from the Hand, and just, you know, goes on a militant thing. I've heard negative reviews about this series. I mean, I got to finish off this comic book and then see where it ends up and whatnot. You know, I've enjoyed it, you know, because it's sort of Punisher. Of course, all the controversy about his skull was changed and everything brought up a lot of controversy and hate because they changed it. But they can always bring it back on the next one. There's no, I really believe this is just a one-time thing, and the next time they'll just bring his skull back. So there's nothing saying they can't do that. But I've heard or quickly briefly seen some reviews about the last issue and then the way they've ended it, and they just said it's not great. I'll read it and take a look. I'm still reading stuff from the old ones from 2000 and between 2018 to 2020, I think it is. And those ones are fun. World War Frank, and it's just a whole series about him and Zemo and all that sort of stuff. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, I can't wait, man. Can't wait. Punisher, man, is my dude. He is my dude.
Bro, continue for a moment. I'll be right back.
All right, cool. All right, what else is going on, man? Let me continue with the news. Disney shuts down. Okay, so I read that Disney shuts down production for the Thunderbolts and other Disney stuff like Spider-Man 4 and Marvel, and not just Marvel, like loads of shows and TV programs and movies and whatnot are shut down just because of the writer's strike. I also saw something where it says Thunderbolt says back into production. So I don't know what's exactly happening. Again, if you want to know more about the writer's strike, you know, do check out Kevin Smith and Mark Bernard's podcast. They probably break it down to a T. Exactly what's happening, but I heard briefly. Basically, this only relates to movies and online like streaming shows and whatnot, video games and books and authors. I think is fine, but with the writer's strike, I think there's a lot to it. You know, these are the guys who are in the background that are putting these stories together, and you know they might not get the credit, they might not get the FaceTime, they might not get paid as much. And now you got all these, you know, AI tools like ChatGPT and all that sort of stuff that can probably write stories, not as great, but they evolve into a point where they can write these fascinating stories through AI and shit. And I'm sure someone's going to put a show together or a movie together based on pure AI technology story writing. But yeah, I think, you know, there was a writer's strike years ago, I think, maybe when the streaming stuff come out. I'm not too familiar. Again, check out Mark Bernard's and Kevin Smith's podcast. They'll probably tell the whole thing. But yeah, there's been a lot of things on hold, you know, and a lot of restrictions. You know, I heard with Deadpool 3, because of this writer's strike, Ryan Reynolds is not allowed to improvise as much more. So, you know, from one perspective, I'm like, oh, that's basic, man. I want Ryan Reynolds to improvise. From the other side, the writers need to get their credits and their payment or whatever they need, whatever they're asking for, they should get it, you know, because they're a big part of Hollywood. They're a big part of taking us away on these adventures and taking us through these stories and all that sort of stuff. So I don't know. They need to find a compromise. I hope production and all that sort of stuff starts again with some of these things, but we shall see what happens with the industry moving forward.
Yeah, man, listen, I can only hope the best. And, you know, these guys, they deserve it, man. Without a doubt, 100% they deserve it. So, listen, man, stop paying well, man. No, it's weird, bro. Like, and I don't want to get involved the real life realities of work involved in our podcast, and I usually don't. And I know we talk about certain things, but, you know, for our mental health wise, you know, I think it's more important. When you guys start realizing the value of what you can provide for somebody and what you do, then you start knowing who you are and what your value is. So like, I know now that I am an asset, not just for work, but for life, for what I do and how I make people feel. That's my attributes, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Pay me, because there's a reason why people are trusted to work with me, you know what I mean? Or trust in my ideas or something that I want to push forward. There's a reason. I know that now. I never really believed in myself before. And I still have my days where I'm suffering imposter syndrome. But this is not a lightsaber. It looks better anyway. It's a trailer.
I was going to say it does, bro. If that thing starts vibrating, that'd be jokes.
It's vibrating. I was dying, bro. Yeah, so listen.
Yeah.
Just know your value, innit? I suppose that
know your
helps.
value. But you got to put the hard work in. Like when you say that, you can't just be like some slob and be like, oh no, I should get paid way more than. You got to hustle. You got to hustle for it. You got to earn it. And then when you have earned it and when you do believe in yourself and whatnot, then yeah, of course, know your value and you should be getting paid for what you're worth, right? You can't just sit there and expect it.
Because I know now, regardless of how far I go in life or what I do, I am going to have to work twice as hard as the other person. I always thought, like, I came to a point where I was like, man, why isn't things easy for me? Why do I have to do all this running around? Why do I have to second guess myself? Why do I have to prove myself? But writing that annual review, it's the first time I've written something that long in my life, I think. Because I finally kind of like, huh? For work, yeah. It's an annual review for work.
Yeah, got it.
I don't usually write well about myself because I don't really sell myself because I feel like I'm just a jack of all trades. I get to, I feel like that's my mutant power. I adapt, I evolve, I work in that. And I don't complain as much. I just get it done because I know what I have to do. You know what I mean? But I felt like this time around, I had to, you know, I'm not asking for the world, bro. I just want to be able to provide for these kids now. And when the way things are in the UK at the moment, you're like, it don't finally hit you till you look at your bank balance and you're like, hold up, man. You know, I used to be able to save a little bit. You know, we're scraping here, bro. It's nuts. You know, if people's mortgages have gone up the way my one has gone up, if the cost of living and the food prices, I feel sorry. I don't know what other people are going through who don't earn. If I don't do my side hustles, if I don't work and do extra commissions and art pieces, you know, I don't get to eat. I don't get to put food on the table because my full-time work just covers the house, the roof over our head. You know what I mean? So I've got to put that work in, bro. Yes, consistency is hard, but then you lose quality in certain things. And I can admit to that. I lose quality in a lot of things, bro. But my, you know, so-called somebody says I've got ADHD, dyslexia, all of this, you know, labeling and stuff like that. I never really thought about it before, but yeah, probably I suffer something. You know, I can't sit still. And I'd rather get the job done than not do it at all. If I've said yes to somebody, I want to be able to honor that yes. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Whether it's, I know it's hard to say, but it won't be 100%, but I'll get the job done. You know what I mean? Instead of me, I hate lying to people. Yeah, it can be done, but it ain't gonna be 100%. You didn't give me enough time. You give me 6 months, I'll give you something amazing. You give me 3 weeks, you're getting what you're paying for, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So, like,
And
the reality
as long
is
as
that.
you're honest with it as well, you understand yourself, your time. I mean, I even done a year-end review as well, myself at work, and similar sort of thing. I know my values in certain things, and I know my peers and how smart certain people are, but with the doubts I've always had with myself, yeah, again, dyslexia and all that sort of stuff, being a leader, managing a team of 8 people around the world and whatnot. You know, I focused on some of the qualities I am good at. Now, I might not be the most, you know, because what I discovered about myself was, and I think this is true for most people, but you got to find your own way, is that when I first started my work at Dow Jones, you know, people used to tell me, leadership, who I love, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to name names, but I love them, they're mentors of mine, would tell me, gee, you need to think more strategically and creatively. So I used to look at, you know, campaigns or advertising campaigns and reports and be like, okay, think creatively, think strategically. That didn't mean shit for me. It didn't work. Like, what do you mean? I don't know what you mean think creatively. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand. What I've learned over the years is the way that I express my creativity and strategic thinking is by truly expressing myself. Being confident of who I am, expressing my thoughts, my questions, my theories. Some of them could be stupid, but my management, my boss, she's awesome. She's given me a platform or given me the set up the environment where I can truly just talk, right? Like I'm talking to you, right? And I'm spitballing ideas and I'm just saying shit. Whereas before, and I'm still working on this, my insecurities were kicking. Like, oh, don't say that. That'll make you look dumb. Or don't say that. It'll make you look vulnerable. Now I just show my vulnerability. And my guys, I don't know what you're talking about. Does that mean this? Da, da, da. I throw out these questions. Some of the shit I come out with is actually pretty good. And I realized I express my creativity and strategic thinking by expressing myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And I think that's super important, man. And now I found the value in myself. So I'm like, listen, I might not be as smart and so as that, but that's cool.
Exactly.
That's their value. My value is in, you know, that being expressing myself and also being emotionally there for my team. You know, that's how I'm more better as a leader. I'm more of an emotional leader. Also, I'm old school, man. I tell my manager this, listen, I'm old school. I got old school values from my father and whatnot. The old school values of being loyal and being hardworking and getting the work done and not complaining and you know being on time. Listen, man, I'm old school like that. I'm like, no matter what, that shit will get done. You know, if leadership want us to do something, I get it. I'm in this corporate world, done. Right? Doesn't mean I can't ask why. Like, help me with the vision. Tell me, I'm gonna do it. Done deal. You want this done? Done. Can you just tell me, like, can you help me understand why? Like, what's the vision? Why is it going to benefit the company? Why is it going to benefit you? Or why is it going to benefit our team? And also, like, how we could do it. If I could find a more better way of doing it, a more efficient way of doing it, cool. I'll question that and I'll try and do that. But regardless, I'm old school. You want it done? No problem. You're the boss. This is the corporate world. You're the boss. I get it, right?
Oh, bro,
but
people don't have those values down.
This is what I'm saying. It's, you know, people think they're you know, they're entitled to shit and whatnot. I'm like, yeah, if you of course you are, you're entitled to whatever, but not in the corporate world. I mean, look, the corporate world's changing anyway, but you know, you sometimes you just gotta suck it up and fucking just do the job. I'm not gonna go talk into numbers on that, but we've had a year where it's been a bit tough, you know, because of numbers and whatnot. There's been bad news about certain things and whatnot. Sometimes you just gotta the fuck up and just do the work. That's it.
No, exactly.
If you're not happy, go find another job and whatnot. You can't say this. Don't get me wrong. You can't say this. And of course, I want to support everyone. But I have the mentality. I tell my boss, man, no matter what, I've got that old school values of loyalty, and I'm gonna get shit done no matter what. I'm not gonna. I'm not a complainer, man. I'm not, like, I've already put it in my head about certain things, be it bonuses and all this sort of stuff. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, why don't we get this and why don't we get that? I'm like, cool, that's out of my head. The business is telling me this. I get it. My mind's already been like, cool, don't expect your bonus. Don't expect this. Don't expect that. Got it. It's out my head. Like, I got my job. That's the main thing. Let's fucking go. Every day I'm getting up, I'm hustling, and I'm making sure I'm getting shit done. So I've got those old school values in me still, but you know, I express those to my manager. These are my key values, as you said, like knowing what you're worth. I'm worth this. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you can get someone in who's from Harvard and all that sort of shit, but they're going to be some entitled motherfuckers. No, and I just pick Harvard, but you know what I'm trying to say? They're going to be some entitled motherfuckers. So you're going to hire them and they're going to just say, no, I don't want to do this. I'm complaining. I'm going on strike, blah, blah, blah. Where you got me, who's just, you know, this Tottenham educated motherfucker who's going to be like, yes, boss, let's get this shit done. All right? I'm going to think strategically and try and find solutions for it. But you ain't going to hear me complaining. I'm getting the work done. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, bit of a difference in new generation and old school generation. I say I'm old school. Exactly, I'm hitting 40, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I am from that old school, man. Okay, and I like that old school generation. I like the old school mentality.
I like the ethics, bro. The ethics is good because these are people that are really strong-minded and really like stuck to their guts and got things done. I mean, when do you hear somebody say, I've been at my job for 30 years? You know what I mean? We are not in the era no more, bro. We are in the era of, yeah, I was there for 6 months, and yeah, I was there for a year. You know, the longevity path right now has changed completely. You know, to be honest, even me, I think my last job I was at 8 years. This job I'm here 6 years. Who knows where it goes after? But I'm just saying, like, some people say it's comfortability. Some people, I think it's more growth. You know, yes, sometimes you're comfortable in the job you're in, but there's more to it. There's something you like about it. The people you work with. I think the people you work with is really important, bro. I think that's what makes my job even more fun. You know what I mean? Is my team. You know what I mean? So it helps out massively.
100%.
All right, bro.
I agree with that, man. Cool,
let's continue. I gotta get back to father duties.
Yes. All right. To finish off with the MCU was Spiderverse. So obviously you spoke about it. You saw the screening. I'm super jealous. I'm gonna watch it in a month. It's cool. But there's so many other projects that Sony and the Spiderverse is working on. And let's just go through that list. You got Kraven the Hunter, which is going to be the first R-rated Spider-Verse movie. We haven't seen the trailer yet, but looking forward to that. See what they do with that. You got Madam Web. You got Beyond the Spider-Verse, which is Beyond the what's the new one called?
Across the Spider-Verse.
So Beyond the Spider-Verse must be another one outside of that. You got El Maruto. Who's that?
Yeah, he's the wrestler. I'm not sure why they picked that character, but yeah. Okay,
well, they put that out there. You got Venom 3, you got Spider-Man 4, you got Hypno Huster, who that's is that Miles Morales' uncle or some shit like that?
The what? The Hustler?
I made that up. Yeah, Huster.
I don't know, bro.
No, Huster. I made that shit up.
Any spelling mistakes, bro?
But yeah, I mean, listen, I got it from an Instagram page here. Anyway, you got Spider-Woman, and then you got the what do you call it? The Miles Morales live action movie, which should be exciting as well. And then you got series is it Silk Spider Society and Spider Noir. So what I find interesting is there's a great Spider universe. I think it'll be amazing if they can obviously do it right. Sony's struggled a little bit with some of their Morbius and all that other shit, right? If they just collaborate with Disney and Marvel on some of these, which I'm sure they will, you know, these could be some great, exciting projects. Put it that way.
Definitely, these are projects so that that Sony keep the rights to this universe.
That is true.
So because there's some random ones in there, you're like, excuse me.
Yeah,
but
that is true.
They've got this deal where they have to keep up with content, so why not? So listen, I wish them the best. I personally think
hit and miss. You know,
yeah, it's hit and miss.
End of the day, at least it's not been all completely shit like the Fox universe, right? The Fox X-Men one was completely bad and Fantastic Four. At least with Spider-Man, they gave us Spider-Man 1 and 2, which were amazing. You got Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which was amazing. Then you had some shitty ones around, right? So at least they've produced some great shit.
Yeah, exactly. I'll give them that. I'll give them that. I'm excited to see what, bro. Listen, we're getting content left, right, and center. Listen, I think I've had one of the most busiest, geekiest weeks ever, bro. Like, to be a part of so much, it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. I just, the Brothers Geek Out podcast. Wow, who would have thought, bro? Who would have thought? And yes, listen, that's, hard work, consistency, and we're getting a lot of love, like, from people that message us on Twitter and Facebook. Facebook is growing massive, bro. We're getting good views on there, man. So massive thank you to the guys that use Facebook still. I just post the clips up on there. I don't respond, so apologies, guys. And like, my respond times are going to be later because it's hard looking after all of this stuff. So Gilman's starting to learn, pick up. He started putting stuff up on YouTube, which is great, and it helps. But in general, just a massive thank you to you guys, and thank you for everybody who's sent me messages about little Nia, and like, just keep up. If you're getting into something, I know there was, I think, a TS Villa. You know what? Let me find his name properly and give him some respect, because he listens to the podcast. He always responds on Twitter, and he's starting his own thing. He's a gamer, so he does a lot of gaming things. Let me see. Where is he? Come on. Oh, there we go. Yeah, TS Villa, Twitch and YouTube. But TS Villa, he won one of our giveaways, but he listens to the podcast. Shout out to you, dude. You always drop us nice messages. You always compliment us on the consistency and the hard work that we put into things, and you're on your journey to doing things like that. So good luck on you. Shout outs to Raheem Slim, artist. I met him at, he came down and saw me on Comicon on Friday. Shout outs to Alan Ross. Thank you for spending the weekend with me and helping me out, and he bought me food and chilled with me, and bless him, man. I thank you for the time that you guys, some of you people I haven't met in the real world, and finally getting to meet you was absolutely amazing. Who else, man? Shout outs to HRO for doing the card giveaway that we did and the tickets for MCM. Thank you so much for that. I got another book to read. Sorry, come off thing, but here we go. This is called Always Looking Up by Michael J. Fox. It's one of his earlier books. I'm reading that, so that's giving me a bit of more inspiration. It's hard work, guys. The Adventures of an Incurable Optimist. And I feel like I'm like that as well, bro. Like, he talked in his, you guys spoke about it. And I did want to do something, but I feel like I couldn't do justice in explaining how much I think Michael J. Fox is like one of the coolest person in the world. And the way this documentary was directed was absolutely amazing. Yeah.
Come back. Just come back.
Okay, cool. Was there anything else, bro? Because little Alara wants to speak to her uncle.
Yeah, no, that was it. That was it, man. Yeah, no, that was it, man. You're reading a new book. I'm reading Kevin Hart's new book, or listening to an Audible. But yeah, outside of that, it's actually hilarious, his book. And I always love a success story.
I can't show you.
I went to hear his book. But all right, on that note, since little Alara has come and gate crashed the podcast, we can call it there, man. Guys, it's Kibs. It's good to have you back. And guys, thank you for liking, subscribing, and just being a part of this. Appreciate it.
Take care, guys. One love. Hey.